And here you have it, another $75,000 approval. And this is just the beginning. Business owner, real quick, I want to give you right now a simple funding strategy that you can utilize to unlock over $75,000 in business capital. This is going to give you more breathing room for your business and more breathing room for your mental, because I know you're possibly struggling, mentally to try to get funding. More cash, more time, and more control without even drowning in interest. So what I want you to do right now is go grab your pen and paper. No, seriously, go grab it, because I'm telling you, it's going to be a good one. And without further ado, let's dive in. All right, ladies and gents, business owners, soon-to-be business owners, who's ever really watching this, before we actually talk about the bank approvals, the bank sequences, everything that I want to give you, I have to give you the groundwork no matter how you twist and turn it. And of course, we're going to talk about your personal credit foundation. Think of your credit report like the frame of a house. If your frame isn't aligned correctly, if it's cooked, if it's crooked, no matter what it is, pretty much, your doors are not going to open right. Things are going to look wobbly. Things are going to look weird. So just with that, that's how banks work. So lenders are going to check your frame first to make sure everything is solid and in line. So this is the frame that I need you to have before you do any type of sequences, all right? Your scores need to be at a 700 or higher on all three credit bureaus, okay? We're not talking about just, what Capital One tells you, Navy Federal, that one, even Credit Karma, all right? They're not always going to give you the proper information that you need. So you need to pull your accurate credit report. So if you need that, click the link below. You can get, My Score IQ, Identity IQ, My Score, My Free Score Now, anything like that to actually utilize and see what's going on in your report. Okay, so that's step one. So you have a 700 credit score, awesome, but we still need to dig a little deeper, all right? Because you can definitely have a 700 credit score with a bunch of negatives on your credit report, and that's what you cannot have, okay? So the next thing, 700 credit score, no negatives on your credit report. So that means no late payments, charge-offs, collections. I do not care how old they are, they still affect you like it just happened 2 hours ago. So if you need to clean that up, please go get restoration, or you can utilize me, or do it yourself. The choice is yours, but you cannot have these because it is going to hinder you. Now, even when you don't have any negatives on your credit report, you still have some other things that you need to make sure is in line, which is your utilization. Utilization makes up 30% of your total and entirety of your credit report, okay? So if you have high utilization, there are pretty much some points right there that's just hanging dormant because, you're not paying everything off on time. So that's what we're talking about. When it comes to utilization, I know everybody tells you to keep it at least 30% or lower. That's fine. That's great. It's really not fine. But I'm telling you right now, you need to have it at least 10% or lower, because that is what the upper echelon of successful people that utilize credit, that's how they have it, or they have it at zero where they pay it off. 30% is cool, but 30%, like I always say in all my videos, is too close to 50%. 50% is too close to, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just looking for credit. Can you give it to me? And the answer is going to be no. Because think about it like this, just reiterating, 10%, of a utilization is like having straight A's on your report card or progress report back in the day when you were in high school. It looks clean, it looks safe, and banks can actually relax when they see it, all right? So why does this matter so much? Because banks are going to use your report to answer one big question. If I give them this money, will they pay me back? And a clean report and low balances always says yes. So if your scores are bouncing around or your cards are near the limit, banks are going to get nervous. And nervous equals no approvals or very small approvals. And you don't like that either, because think about getting, a zero APR card and you have a $2,000 limit. Now you're going to have to take 9 or 10 of those months just to try to make it look good, just so you can get a higher limit. The zero APR is gone, but I'll talk about more of that, in the video. But exactly. So just make sure everything is clean before you go for any type of funding. Okay. So again, first, make sure that you pay down your credit cards. Okay. Please do this before you apply for anything, and aim to land around a 10%, pretty much a 10% around your limit. So just for example, if your card has a $10,000 limit, try to keep your balances near that $100 near the statement closing date, or just do like I do, just pay it off. All right. And the second thing, check your reports for any type of mistakes and real errors. The third thing I need you to understand is be smart with your timing. I know I'm about to give you all this information, but I'm just saying, be strategic. Space out any new applications so you don't rack up a pile of hard inquiries all in the same week. And of course, I get it. The foundational steps are not the sexiest part, but it definitely helps you as far as the deciding factor of your ceiling is whether you're going to get approved or denied. So if you want bigger numbers later, you must win here first. Does that make sense? All right, so now that we have, the 700 credit score, we have no negatives, the utilization is 10% or maybe even 0%, which is fine too. Now we can go ahead and go into the funding sequences, okay? So this is how we're gonna stack these limits to get you that 75 or even more when it comes to funding, okay? So let's walk through the exact sequence of what I've used for a few clients recently. But remember, results depend on your profile, your location, and banks, because banks can definitely change any type of small rules without warning. Okay, so your job is to make sure that you do your due diligence, follow these steps, keep the foundational tight, and then move on with your action plan. And I just want to add another cherry on top as well. Even though I'm giving you, this funding sequence, and I know a lot of people do as well, make sure you fact check everything I say. I don't know when you're going to watch this video. I'm just saying everything is in the making of this video. Like I said, different locations, require sometimes different things. So make sure that, if I'm telling you, right now, oh, it's 0 APR for blah, 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 try to call that bank, try to reach out to that bank and tell them, hey, is this still accurate? Is this still valid? Because, now you're actually, strategizing everything and trying to get into everything from there. So, I just want to throw that out there as well. All right, so now let's go ahead and get into step A, which is the first bank, which is Citizens Bank. Okay, we're going to start here first. Now, as far as everything that I've been doing, as far as with clients, people that have been actually doing this, emailing me, a lot of them has been saying the same thing, that Citizens Bank does pull from Equifax, okay? Now, this can vary through state to state and product, but I'm 95% sure as in the making of this video, they are going to pull your Equifax on the personal side. So always, make sure that you check everything, fact check everything I'm telling you just to make sure. But again, 95%, I'm pretty sure that they're going to pull your Equifax. Also, understand that Citizens is not in everybody's area. It's not like a Wells Fargo or something like that. So the first move that you need to make is make sure that it's in your area, okay? But if it is in your area, cool, you can keep going. The next thing I want you to do when you get in there, building that small relationship can help, okay? So open up that, business checking accounts, business savings account is definitely going to help you with the internal points with them. It's not mandatory, but in my opinion, just for me telling you right now, this is me telling you, try to build some type of relationship with them first, because that's definitely going to help. If your Equifax score is a 720 or higher and your personal foundation looks extremely good, Citizens Bank is going to be very, very, very generous to you, okay? Because I've had a client that went through the whole sequence with me, and with Citizens Bank, they were able to get over $50,000 in a total approval on one credit card. But I want to be transparent with you and be honest with you. The client that I used, they used my bank connection that went through our guided process. So I'm not saying that you can't get $50,000, but I just wanted to, just throw that out there for you. So if you go do it, you could possibly get $50,000, but, to do it yourself with no bank connection or anything like that, you should still be able to get, $15,000 to $20,000 of an approval. All right. Now, like I said, you could definitely get $50,000. I'm not saying you can't, but probably in that good threshold of $15,000 to $20,000 with Citizens Bank is pretty much standard. Your target card of choice, because they really don't have too many choices on the business side, but I would say your target card of choice is the 0% APR one. That's the best one to get. That gives you time to put the funds to work without any interest, just creeping up and tapping you on your shoulder while you're in invest mode. So make sure that you grab this, but also make sure that you pay off, the initial investment that you're using from this card, so you don't run into any issues where you're like, I have so much debt, I don't know what to do, and now the interest is coming in. Okay, so that's just my opinion. You can definitely go after the other card, but I think that that's the best one for you. And matter of fact, I should have said this before we talked about any type of credit cards to get with Citizens or anything. I should have said this first, so listen to this. When you apply, be ready with your business details. I get a lot of clients and people that say, I tried to apply and they don't have anything in order. I don't understand why. You have to understand that you're not going for you, you're going for an entity. So you're vouching for something else to get funding. All right, so make sure that you have certain documentation in place, because they are going to ask for that. It's basically like, on the personal side, they want to make sure they have your driver's license, any other ID, social security, things like that, to make sure you are who you say you are. It's the same thing for the business. So you want to make sure that you have, of course, your LLC name, your EIN number, your articles of organization. Make sure that you have your business address, your phone number set up, and a simple plan on how you're going to repay this, over time. Not saying that they're going to need it, but I just want to stress that to you a little more. Make sure that you speak like a responsible owner of a business. Okay, don't go in there saying, well, consulting, or I'm doing this. I think I'm doing this. They're gonna be like, yo, get this guy or girl up out of here. They don't even know what they're doing. All right, so we're not granting many. We don't even care about their credit scores, and you don't want to go through that. Also, a quick reminder: a real application does take a hard inquiry to your credit report. It's normal. I know you probably know, but I'm just saying. So make sure that you keep your foundation strong, and make sure that you keep your timing smart as well. Now, if you want the same banker pathway that I use to help my client get over $50,000 from Citizens Bank, then what I want you to do, of course, is to click the link below to schedule a consultation with me, because we'll map out, your options on how we can definitely do this for you too. But enough about that. Let's get back to the video and back to the strategy. All right, now so that we finished up with Citizens Bank, everything is good over there. Now we're going to go to step B, which is Ameris Bank. Ameris Bank, I've heard people say it a bunch of different times, okay, in a bunch of different ways, but Ameris Bank, okay? Their business credit cards are issued by Elan Financial Services. If you never heard of Elan Financial Services, Elan is backed by a lot of different lenders that you probably know and don't know. They work behind the scenes, really behind the scenes from a lot of regional banks, okay? Their cards are pretty much including, 0% APR, which is a number of billing cycles, 6 to 12 months or something like that, which is a perfect cushion for the strategy that you're going to be utilizing to scale your business. The exact length of the intro period can change, so always read the current offer before applying, okay? Just because you see 0 APR for 45 months, just make sure everything is cool, because everything that glitter ain't always gold, all right? So just make sure. Another thing that I need you to understand about Elan: different applications can pull from different bureaus depending on your state, again, and specific bank partners. Some files I've seen where they have pulled TransUnion. Some files I've seen where they actually pulled Experian as well. I've gotten a few emails where somebody said that they pulled their Experian. So just be mindful of all of this, okay? One thing that you can do if you're in your area, I'm not saying this always works, sometimes this works. What you could do is you can freeze your credit reports and just blindly apply to see what they'll try to pull from. And then once they do that, you're like, okay, they're going to pull my TransUnion or something like that. So now I can go ahead and apply, or they're going to pull my Experian. Same rules apply. Sometimes this works, sometimes this doesn't work, but just credit hack. Now, for Ameris Bank, it's very simple. Now, again, you want to confirm that they are in your area, and then you want to apply on their business side, okay? And you want to apply for the business credit card that clearly shows a 0% APR for their purchases for X amount of months. This is going to make sure that you keep your tone professional and your numbers clean. And I'm talking about on, your business and personal side. With that being said, you need at least a strong 700 plus on the profile and a tidy foundation to continuously keep going. I've seen people get approved with like 680s, 690s and stuff like that, but they have really strong credit foundations. Sometimes their utilization was just a tad bit high, but they still got approved, for a good amount of money. So if you have like a 700 plus or a 680, 690 with a really good profile, you should see an approval around $10,000 to $15,000 with this step, okay? So again, the mileage may vary, but it's a very solid middle pack to really stack on your funding journey, okay? So just understand that moving forward. And another thing, even when you get $10,000 to $15,000, you can always apply for another credit card with Elan Financial as well, to try to double your chances. Or I got 10,000 from here. Let me try to get another one of $10,000 or something of that nature. You can easily do that, with no problem. But again, be strategic, because they might pull your credit report again. All right, now we got with Bank A, we got with Bank B. So let's go ahead and go over with Bank C. And this is what we're going to be talking about first: Citizens Bank. I see some people talk about First Citizens Bank, but then I don't see a lot of people talk about them. Sometimes they are in my funding sequences, as you can see, and they can be very, very helpful. And I'm just going to go ahead and let you know now, just like any of the other banks that I told you, but with First Citizens Bank, relationship matters a lot. Let me say that again. Relationship matters a lot. Now, I really like this bank because in the specific ways, in branch can really increase your total chances of getting that approval or that denial. I don't think you could do anything online. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you always have to. But anyway, you really want to increase, again, your business relationship with them. So making sure that you have your checking, savings account, steady deposits, and clean activity. All right, because this is going to signal that you want to be a long-term member with them. Again, for First Citizens Bank, if I'm not mistaken, it does vary by location and product. So don't assume, please be prepared. And if your profile is way strong, and we're talking about at least a 760 or better, zero negatives, low balances, you're setting yourself up for a very, very big win here, okay? So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to apply for the low interest business credit card, okay? Or any of the zero APR business credit cards. And if you're approved, I'm pretty sure you're probably going to get like a $10,000 limit. Now, don't freak out or anything like that. I know you're trying to look for like the $70,000 approvals or anything like that. Just hold on, just chill, because what you're going to do is you're going to go for a second business credit card that fits your needs right then and there, okay? If everything is right, your foundation should still be excellent. All right, and when you're in the branch, you should be able to apply again, and with that approval, you should get at least $20,000 to $30,000. Okay, so that means that you got a $10,000 limit, and then you possibly got a $20,000 or $30,000 limit. Now, I'm not saying that this is 100% guaranteed, but 2 cards in a day is a powerful lever when timed correctly with the right credit profile. Does that make sense? I hope it does. All right, so I know I gave you a lot of information here, so let's go ahead and give you the quick, overview of everything that I've stated as far as the checklist. So the first thing I need you to do, fix your foundational pieces, which is your frame. All right, your score should be 700s or higher across all 3 bureaus, 0 negatives, and your credit card balances should be 10% or lower. Second thing I need you to do is collect all of your documents, your LLC, articles of organization, corporation papers, EIN. All this is necessary when you go to all these banks or apply online. You're definitely going to need this. Make sure you also have your business address and your phone number. The next thing I need you to make sure that you have is recent bank statements and a clean description of how you're going to pay and repay all this credit. Again, it's not for them, it's for you to make sure that you're staying organized, okay? Now, and the third thing I need you to do is go to Citizens Bank. Make sure that they serve in your area and apply all of the necessary steps that I gave you as far as, building that relationship, making sure that your foundation is good, and get that 0% APR credit card, and you should get at least $15,000 to $20,000 on the do-it-yourself path. You could definitely get $50K, but I'm just saying I did use a Bank Connect, so it's a little different. The next thing I need you to do, as far as a fourth step, if you want to say, go to Amherst Bank. Amherst Bank is powered by Elon Financial, so make sure that it does, service in your area. If you've already used Elon before, it could definitely hinder you. But if you haven't, try to go for the 0% APR, credit cards. Lift any freezes on your credit report if you already know that they're going to pull your TransUnion or anything like that. And then for a common result with that, you should get at least maybe $10,000 to $15,000 with a strong credit profile, especially if you haven't, established any type of relationship. The next thing I need you to do, or the fifth one, is apply to Citizens Bank. You are going to have to build and strengthen that relationship first. Apply in branch with, the first credit card, you should get maybe $10,000. And then if you do it again, you should possibly get $20,000 to $30,000 from what I've been seeing helping my clients, okay? So if you do all of this, this should fit your needs with a great profile. It's realistic, and you will see the combined $25,000 to $50,000, $75,000 approvals that you're actively looking for, okay? Oh, also, finally, track all your approvals, okay? Make sure that you know all the intro, dates, when they end, when you need to have that payoff plan. Make sure that's in a simple spreadsheet. Name all the columns, banks, limits, APRs, end of dates, purpose, payoffs, you name it. I know it sounds like a lot, but you want to be a business owner, don't you? This is what I have to do. This is what you're going to have to do as well. Be organized. Now, I know you're watching this and you're like, man, Eric, I'm really trying to, get these $50,000, $75,000 approvals. I'm just having some type of issues. I don't know why, and you need bank connects or a little bit more of a hands-on process. Then know where I got you, because what I wanted you to do is click the link below to sign up for our consultation to help you get approved for $50,000 to $300,000 in funding. Again, it's not about applying blindly. It's about having the right connections and the right strategy in place to get that. And that's what I'm going to specifically help you with, just like in this video, but a little more in depth for certain things that I keep in-house for people that actually sign up with me. I want to thank you guys for stopping by. I really hope that this helps one of you guys, and I really hope that this really sets you up for that $75,000 approval or way more than that. Again, I want to thank you guys for stopping by, and until next time, ladies and gents.